Hi everyone. Thank you for watching this very brief video about the Latin American and Iberian Studies major. My name is Ana de la O. I am the DUS for the Latin American Studies major, and I am also an associate professor in the Political Science department. What I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes or so is talk a little bit about our major, and I'll describe our requirements. I'll give you some examples of courses that students have taken to fulfill those requirements. I'll talk a little bit about the senior essay. And finally, I'll say a few words about how our major relates to the CLICE Center. The Latin American Studies major is an interdisciplinary major. We have faculty that comes from across the Yale campus, including faculty from the social sciences, humanities, forestry, environmental studies, the School of Medicine, biophysics, and many other departments. The last major enables students to learn and engage in interdisciplinary and comparative study of the most pressing global challenges from the point of view of Latin America and the Iberian Peninsula. The major builds on a foundation of language and literature, history of the arts, the social sciences, physical and medical sciences, and environmental studies. Our major is very flexible. The DUS and the student work on a course of studies to satisfy the requirements. We require 12-term courses, including the senior essay, and we also have some language requirements. The courses that we require are sort of broadly structured to help students have an interdisciplinary course load. So we require that the student takes 2 courses in the social sciences. And for example, people take here courses like post-conflict politics, challenges of young democracies, revolution and the Cold War in Latin America, Aztec archaeology, the politics of migration. And there are many other options that you can take to fulfill these 2 requirements of social sciences. We require 2 courses in history. So for example, people take courses like History of Brazil, Latin America since independence, Historical Perspectives of Global Health, Colonial Latin America, Freedom and Abolition in Latin America, and 2 courses in literature, like studies in Latin American literature, modern Brazilian literature, narratives and music in Spanish Caribbean culture. And here there is a vast offering in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese. And we require 1 course in history of art or theater studies. For example, many of our students take the course Radical Cinemas of Latin America or Latin American film. We require 1 introductory course, and here we have lots of flexibility. So depending on your exposure to the region, you can take something very introductory, like Intro to the Cultures of Latin America. Or if you are already quite familiar with the region, maybe you can take something more upper level. Or if you are interested in certain aspects of Latin America, like for instance, the political systems, then you could take something like Politics in Latin America. We require 3 elective courses, and of these 3 courses, 1 of them we require it to be an upper level seminar. We require a senior essay, and in terms of language requirements, we require that you take 2 years of 1 language or to reach an L5 level, and then 1 year in another language. Now here, we have the great fortune of having the resources and support of the CLICE Center. So for example, if you are interested in studying a language that Spanish and Portuguese departments do not teach, so for instance, if you're interested in learning Quechua, then we can work with the CLICE Center to find a tutor and set up directed independent studies for you to take 2 semesters of Quechua. So the CLI Center has the resources to help us do something like that for you if that's your interest. Many of our students are double majors, and so our major is very flexible and very compatible with other majors like political science, economics, global affairs, or even some majors in sciences. And if you are a double major, then you can double count 2 courses to fulfill requirements in the 2 majors, which is a great help to reduce the course load that you have to complete to double major. So we require a senior essay, and this senior essay is typically written in 1 semester. In that semester, you would register in the course Last 491. You would select an advisor. Usually I, as the DUS, help you figure out who you can work with in your senior essay. Then once you have an advisor, you work with him or her to select your essay's topic and then to develop the essay. Usually these essays run between 8,000 and 12,000 words. If you are double majoring, we do require that you work on a senior essay just for us, for the last major. And there are many ways in which you can sort of make this work. So oftentimes double majors work in 1 senior essay in the fall and then 1 senior essay in the spring. Sometimes the students choose very different topics for their senior essays in the 2 majors. Sometimes people choose similar topics, so they might explore different angles of a similar question in the 2 essays. So there is flexibility in how to organize here your work in the senior year. We, in the last major, have a course called History and Culture of Cuba that is very popular. And last majors have a priority to get a spot in this course. So of course, right now during the COVID pandemic, things are a little bit different because there are no trips allowed. Non-essential travel is not allowed at the moment. But in normal times, this course would involve in some way a trip to Cuba. The CLI Center is also working on reconfiguring this course. So maybe this course would be transformed into a summer program that would involve a trip to Cuba during the summer. All right, so in terms of what to do next, if you are interested in talking about the last major with me, the DUS, please send me an email. My email address is ana.delao@yale.edu. You have it there on the slide. So send me an email and we can get the conversation started. What I will do in that first meeting is talk a little bit in more detail about the courses that you might be interested in taking. We're going to try to set up a map of the courses that you would have to take in order to complete the major, and sort of create sort of a plan to see what do you need to do in the various years at Yale to make sure that you fulfill all of the requirements. Usually at some point during the junior year, you would declare your major and we would keep in contact. So every semester, at the beginning of the semester, we would touch base just to make sure that you are making steady progress to complete your requirements. All right, so that's it for me. If you have any questions, as I mentioned, please feel free to send me an email. And I hope to hear from you. Thank you.